The threat posed by Russia is real. We can see it here in the Baltic Sea too. I have been briefed in detail by soldiers in Rostock about the threat situation. We see daily actions by the Russian army. They are testing our readiness and our ability to defend ourselves. The threat posed by Russia is real. We can see it here in the Baltic Sea too. I have been briefed in detail by soldiers in Rostock about the threat situation. We see daily actions by the Russian army. They are testing our readiness and our ability to defend ourselves. And that is why I want to say that we will do everything in our power in the coming months and years to protect the freedom, peace, and territorial integrity of the alliance territory. And the Federal Republic of Germany has an extremely important role to play in this. Whether we like it or not, our geostrategic location is the hub of Europe. We must make a particularly great effort where we live, namely in Germany, to do just that, to defend our freedom, to defend peace, and to defend the territorial integrity of our territory. But tonight we also want to talk about the big questions of our time together, because we have some tasks that we can only solve together. Unfortunately, this includes the ongoing war of Russia against Ukraine. We have to deal with this topic again today. And this before the background of the fact that there obviously will not be a meeting between President Zelensky and President Putin, different from what was agreed between President Trump and President Putin last week when we were in Washington together. The security situation in Germany and Europe compels us to revive this tradition, and at the same time, we are sending a signal. Security is a priority. For this federal government as a whole, high on the political agenda. This is our message to the citizens in our country. But it is also a signal to our allies in Germany, in the European Union, in NATO, a signal that Germany is a capable partner in Europe and in the new NATO. Before the cabinet meeting, before the decisions in the cabinet, we had the Commander-in-Chief of NATO forces in Europe, General Alexis Grinkiewicz, and discussed the military situation with him. Grinkiewicz has been the new commander since July 4th of this year. Chancellor, that is, the Supreme Allied Commander Europe of NATO forces. His briefing was very clear. Russia is and remains the greatest threat to freedom and peace for a long time, and for stability in Europe. And the German government responds to this with determination. We have quickly initiated important laws to strengthen the Bundeswehr, and we have already set the course for faster and better procurement of weapons and equipment. At the same time, we are pursuing active peace diplomacy to end the killing in Ukraine and safeguard our security interests. We are contributing to unity in Europe. We stand firmly by Ukraine's side, and we are striving to strengthen the transatlantic partnership. All this is necessary, but it is not sufficient, because Russia has long been conducting hybrid attacks against us through sabotage, cyber attacks, and targeted disinformation. We experience this when cables in the Baltic Sea are destroyed. We experience it through targeted attacks on our IT security. We experience it through massive interference in our democracy as well. Here, the entire federal government is called upon, not just individual departments. We need to become faster, more creative, and more determined by strengthening our infrastructure, enhancing our coordination, and making our society as a whole more resilient.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.